These 7 pillars are how we scale, clarity and not chaos, right? So that's the pitch. You got it. So here's the one thing, mindset, right? A lot of people come in and there's different things. You talk about imposter syndrome. You talk about burnout. You talk about failure. But more importantly than all these things right now, what it is you go in here, and this is really important, right? There's an action to this, right? When you go ahead and do it, you want to basically set your intention, okay? I'm really big at setting the intention. Like some of you are going to the event next week. You're coming in there. What do you want to get out of it? Set the intention before you go there. That way your mind begins to work now. But one of the biggest problems, what I've seen in entrepreneurs, coaches, you name it, this is hands down. I want you to understand something. I'm telling you, this is my experience, okay? I've been coaching people and leading teams for 30 years, okay? That's the deal. And there's one big thing that I've learned that's been the single biggest thing. And whether you're coaching an entrepreneur or you're hiring somebody, this is why mindset's such a big deal on the way to scale. And more importantly, you need to be able to assess it in others so you know what you can use them for. When you're the architect of your life, if it's your fault if you go ask something of someone you know they can't achieve. Like some of you guys in here, I see you got a little bit of gray hair, you lost some hair, or you have a little bit of experience on you, okay? And the thing is this, is at this point in time, by the time you start to learn, you should know right away, because most people are just shopping their failed protocol that hasn't worked, getting someone to get their failed plan to work. When the reality is, how you're able to do it is you have to get help from others, and you have to allow people who have solved it to give you a solution that can help you that's outside of your current thinking, value, belief system, or plan. So the message that I'm trying to deliver to you is the number one Achilles heel that I see people when you're coaching them is they're not open to taking the new directions. You'll literally, just imagine this for a second. I want you to understand something. I don't say this out of being arrogant. I say this, I want to teach you guys. I just want to share with you my experience of life. Not that listen, there's plenty of people that are more successful than me, plenty of people that are more smarter than me, done a lot more than me, okay? But if you come in and you have an opportunity to sit down with me for 45 minutes and you don't have $1 million in net worth, you've never made $1 million, now, and I go ahead and I begin to tell you how to solve the problem that you want to solve. And you want to argue with me on your solution to the problem you've never solved. Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Joey Batista. I'm an active 9-figure entrepreneur. Listen, inside this video, I'm going to share with you the tips and tricks, the real life examples that I use growing and scaling companies today. Listen, I'm not an influencer. I'm an entrepreneur with a passion for sharing what I've learned over the last 3 decades. And it's a privilege for me to share it with you here today. That's a really big problem. However, I can't tell you how many people I've met in my life. When I was younger, I would go on the ride for a second. But for the last 20 years, as soon as I hear a person like that, I shut up and stop talking. Because I realized that if I only have so many words in this life, that this person I cannot help because they're not ready to receive it. So it's so important why I say these 7 critical steps, these pillars that you got to take. You're going to have to learn to have your mind be totally locked into one thing and actually sit back and play tennis with yourself and speak to yourself in third-party person and say, is this really going to get me to where I want to go? Is this really going to have me be the type of leader, husband, wife, whatever it is that I have? Is this truly going to serve me? Is it going to serve the people that I lead? So it's very critical. So you can start by setting the intention. I want to become a great leader. I want to help my team. I want to break through a plateau. I want to do these things. So just really quick, just set your intention for the day. It's a powerful hack. I use it. All this stuff, listen, I'm not big into, like I said, I'm not big into all these crazy things, but I've tried a lot of these crazy things because I just wanted to win so bad. And I'm a guy that learned everything the hard way, as an entrepreneur and stuff like that most of my life. But there was a point in time when it changed, right? And one of the things that it changed for me was it changed. And one of the things that grew and expanded my mind was I was fortunate at a young age. I was a really great sales guy. And when I made the money, I went and I bought mentors. I bought my way into rooms with people that ultimately I didn't listen to for 10 years, which is pretty stupid on my part because I spent the money, I was in the room, but I couldn't listen. So I don't come to this as a person speaking down to people. I come to a person that had this problem and I worked through it. And I'm giving you the lessons of it. So please write it down, take message of it. And here's the other thing, you got to have a clear vision, right? Now, one of the biggest things that I will tell you is how you get there can change. But you have to be clear on what you want, because what happens is you go out, you implement an upsell process. The people don't want to listen to you. They just don't roll over and follow it. And then all of a sudden you take a step back and you get fuzzy on your vision and where you want to go. You compromise it. You know what I mean? The thing that you got to do is you got to have a clear vision, and you got to be adjustable on how you get there. But the vision has to be real. Like, you got to have a vision for your life. No different. You know, you go out, you have this ideal client, you're coaching, you want to coach. It's not happening for you. It's not working. It's not doing it. Fine. No problem. Try something new, but the dream doesn't change. We may be adjustable, but we go ahead and we write a 1 year and a 5 year goal. And you can even write a 10-year goal. You can do a 1 and a 5 year. I like to shorten them because how fast things move these days. I've been shortening them. Everybody says, of course I have 10-year goals for myself. But I like to talk about the 1 year goal because I want to put urgency and pressure on there. So that's one of the things. And remember something. You're going to see these things over and over again a lot of times. Because remember something. A lot of these things you're going to hear before. You're going to hear them. But one of the biggest things I can say, and you're going to hear me say this a lot because this was a breakthrough for me, is I was one of these guys that sat in the room a lot of times because, listen, I've been to all the seminars. I've been to the trainings. I've had, you name the professional training, you name the prestigious place or people or whoever trains you, I've had them. So it'd be very easy to go in and say that, hey, you know what? This doesn't really matter. I already know what this is. Well, guess what? If you're not doing it, you don't get to say you know it, right? Can we have that? That can be a ground rule. If I'm not doing it, I don't get to get credit for doing it. Because if you know it and you're not doing it and you know it works, that's a problem. Hey guys, if you found value in this video, share it with somebody in need. Listen, these videos are a series all brought together that can teach you the real life example. So if you liked it, follow the other video. Don't get me once again, no judgment. I've been there. Right now I got my coaching hat on. And what I'm doing is I'm sharing with you that, like I said at the beginning of this, the number one thing I can offer you is the process and understanding of it. So you can begin to become the architect of your life, of your business, of your blueprint that you're executing on. You can remove the emotion. You can sit back and you can say intellect over emotion. You can write out that vision. You can write out that plan. And you can realize rain, snow, sleet, tornado, hurricane, you name it, you're just going to keep pressing on. And you're going to be able to remove the hateful, ugly emotions from it and keep going. Make sense to everybody? This is going in here. This is big boy advice. This is not something for people looking to play small. And I know you guys aren't looking to play small. That's why I'm like, let me give them something at a high level, right? I can speak to everybody, or I can speak to a few that want to make a difference. Leadership. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about that. This is one of the things. It doesn't matter what your level of where you're at, right? Whatever the case may be. This is the biggest thing I can tell you about leadership. One, tell me what you heard when I'm done speaking, and just start going in. The way that you maintain it, remember something. This is the thing. Remove friction, add speed and consistency. If you're like, hey, I did one-on-ones with my team, your team could be you and one other person. And here's the thing. You give me a team of 20, this is what has to happen. Have you fired anybody in 2 years? No, good. Go fire 2 people, because 2 people on it are dead weight. Have you had one-on-ones with the people? No, do it. Now you're the problem. You're the leader. You're lacking leadership. Have your one-on-ones with the people. It can be by the water cooler. It can be over a taco. It can be over a Coca-Cola. It can be over a coffee. It can be really simple and casual. But just let the people enough to know that you care and talk about business a little bit with them and find out what their goals are, right? I love to talk about goals with people. Because when people come in, I'm like, yeah, man, looks like you're going to die not achieving your dreams. And they're like, well, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, I mean, you said you had these goals, and I haven't seen you do any of the things that we talked about to do them since last time we talked. And I'm like, well, why don't you just lower your goals so you can be happier? Why don't you just lower your goals? You know, if we're doing that part as leaders, like sometimes people, listen, we all respond differently. We all have different strengths. It's not about who's strong. Listen, the best leader is the person who can, one, be the example, And then 2, find people to complement each other's. You got to put it together. You have to put it all together so everybody sees it, and you have to make it so everybody has complementary strengths. See, it's not once. I want you to think in terms of strengths. And some of you guys that are going to be at the event, we're going to spend some time on that. And this is something I do in all my companies. It's going to be really good. You're going to like it. Hey, you're going to be so well equipped to go back and deal with the team. It's going to be really good. So operations, right? This is the biggest thing. We talk about this. How are you handling your operations? I know some of you guys are operators in your business, right? So this is what I want you to do. Listen, I was having a conversation with my team today. I said, you guys don't understand the essential functions of like people like, oh, SOP. Everybody hears SOP, everything like that, right? But here's the thing. Imagine this for a second. I'm going to give you 2 quick things real quick, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, half the people on the call are not going to process this and digest it. And I can tell you there's 20-year COOs that miss the point sometimes of getting this, okay? It's very simple. I'm always looking to assess the people on the job. That's it. I'm looking to develop them. I'm looking to lead them. I'm looking to coach them. I'm looking to assess them all the time. So I implement trend boards so that I can go in and I can see how they deductive reason and how they prioritize every week. Why SOPs are so important. You want to scale up? People come in, they're like, oh, they're not following the SOP. Well, if you hire 5 people and 2 people follow it, do you have an SOP problem? Because some people are going to come in and they're going to follow your SOPs really fast. And they're just going to adapt like a sponge. And you're going to have other people that resist. Is it the SOP problem or do you have a people problem? See, what you want to fastly assess is, am I asking somebody to do something they don't want to do? Did I hire the wrong person for this? And or if you want to scale really fast, you want to be able to hire 10 people. You're like, hey, man, I just bought a new shop. Or, hey, I just did open up a new company. Or, hey, I opened up a new division. And you want to add 15 people, 5, 7, 10, 15 people. You can't do it without SOPs. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be spread thin. So the SOPs give you the ability to assess your current workforce, their current strengths and where they're at. But at the same point in time, it gives you the ability to rapidly scale out. And once again, everything is a navigation. It gives you the ability to pinpoint the problem. See, if you start doing all these things, you start removing obstacles for error. And then eventually you get down to just a few things and it becomes much easier to execute. So my thing is I don't want to spend a lot of time doing it. Like, we got a good SOP for this? Sure. Okay, good. And it may be, you may have one core process that has multiple SOPs to it. But my point is can it be scaled up really quick? Like, that's the goal. Can we scale it up really quick? Because some of these things that I see people talking about that could be documented, if they can't be scaled up quick, you're just hiring the wrong candidates. Just hiring the wrong candidates. So then you can get into a hiring problem, right? That's the other thing, right? So there are other ways to go at it, because one of the issues that you get at, you got to ask yourself the question, how scalable is my business model, right? And I want you to understand something. We're not talking about just scale, but there's more than one way to scale. It's not just additional. Like, for example, if you currently coach and you charge $10,000 and you become in more demand, you can go up to 100. You can scale in price, because if you're selling time, that's what you do. As you become more valuable, you sell your time for more money. Vice versa, then you can scale the other way as well. So keep that in mind. Sales. Here's the biggest thing. We talk about this, right? So that was the last one. That's what I want you to do, is identify one. The big takeaway, identify one core process you can improve. Just one. I don't want you to get too ambitious and go get 9. Just one. One thing you can do. So here's the other thing. Consistent evidence. What's your top performing offer, product, whatever? This is the biggest thing. This is one of the biggest things that I can tell you right now. And some of you guys right here, your offer, everything's in the offer. And some of these offers that you're seeing are dated in the marketplace that aren't transacted. That's why, like some of you that have worked with me and we went back in and we looked at your numbers, some of you are pricing too cheap, some of you are pricing too high, some of you aren't giving the right stuff for whatever it is. Good, service, product, whatever. And so it's always good. If you haven't relooked at your offer, then you don't know. So some of you that have been working with me, we've been doing that. So, and we've had some I'm really proud of you guys, just, like, especially after some of these last couple weeks, I started to see a big turn in you guys. So I was happy to see that, man. It made me really proud of you. It made me feel good about the work. Nothing makes me happier than being able to pay it forward. That's why, like, when I came in and I had coaches and mentors and people that helped me, I looked up to them, admired them. And that was one of the things that encouraged me to want to coach people and mentor people, So that's really simple. Here's the thing. You got to have a mechanism for your sales. If you don't have a constant, If you don't have a constant sales revenue, then you just work on that, right? Some of this is pinpointed. So part of the reason why we're breaking down these 7 is because you need to see what's working for you. Like some of you have different things. Like some of you may be at the point where you just need to get more out of your existing sales. Some of you may need more leads. You're at different points in the process, but if you take these 7, you can go in and you can, if you got one done, you just check it off, go on to the next one. Marketing, this is the biggest thing, right? Here's the big thing, right? Here's the big one here, and I say this for people in here, like, we know brand. We know the power of brand. There's nobody in here, even myself, I go back in here, I get busy, I get caught up. Putting more time into if I put more time into the content, the leads just flow. I'm working on building. Okay, get through this. I have to spend time on that. It's a season where you have to go through it when you really want to grow and scale something. So one of the things I want you to go in here and look, right? No brand clarity, message, or authority. You don't have the accomplishment or the trophy next to you to say, hey, I achieved this. You don't have brand clarity, right? Like sometimes it can be confusing. Hey, are you the automotive guy? No, I've done multiple things, but it's very easy to see that, right? So you have to get, brand clarity and then your message, right? Are you speaking to the problems of the people that are there? But just post for 5 days. The problem that you solve, your personal journey, a client result, a valuable tip, and how to work with you. That's simple. Boom. And it can be brick and mortar. This can be coaching, right? Same thing. Listen, I know coaching because I've been in it, because I've been in mastermind groups for 25 years. And I've done masterminds on almost every level you can do them on. But I'm a brick and mortar guy, right? I know sales processes, upsells, SOPs, how to bring people together, marketing, right? Obviously, I understand digital in the world of digital, automations, follow-ups. How do we go ahead and automate that? We're doing some amazing stuff with AI right now. We're working on that and doing that. So that's really cool. And that's going to be some exciting stuff. Some of you guys are already seeing. Some of you are going to see in the weeks to come. So, but that's really what it is. I want you to look at whatever it is that you offer. If you're selling a lawnmower, you're selling coaching, it doesn't matter. You can go ahead and post for 5 straight days. And here's the thing. Either you have money to market or you don't. This is elbow grease. Just do it. So it's a fast way to scale to level. Now, obviously, if you already have a company and you're doing $5-10 million a year, go ahead and come up with a $250,000 to $500,000 a year annual strategy and come up with it. And that's one of those things that, any of you guys, I could help you with that. But the thing is for right now, my goal for right now for this is to give you something actionable. If you have a team right now, let's go ahead and talk about it, right? This is one of the big things we're doing in our companies right now. It's a big culture shift. This is why the vision's really big. You talk about it. If you have 50 employees and all of them go post 5 times straight a day and they speak to these following things, what's it going to do for your company? And you have to realize organic customers that you get through social media, they're better because you actually build real relationships with them because there's something in your messaging that makes you guys connect. So at some level, you connect. And at the same point in time, your cost of acquisition is nothing. I'm for paid marketing just the same. I want both. Just sharing this with you right now, what you can do right now for yourself if you want to scale really fast. So there's no excuses, no budget, no nothing. You can do it. Right? And that's being said, now keep in mind, I want to bring this together, keeping in mind that, and I know some people deal with this, making sure that your CRMs or POS systems, along with your automations and your emails and your campaigns, and you have the right templates and prompts and what have you to get there, provided you have all that. That's one of those things, making sure you have the right automations. All that is key, right? Dialing it in all the way from your social to your email campaign, to your customers, to your floor traffic, your digital traffic, whatever it is that you're getting. That's something, and here's the thing, it's kind of like a stepped over opportunity that I stumbled in coaching people but I was like, you know what, this is something that, we're masters in, that we can add a lot of value in. It's one of the areas we're really strong. But I want you guys just to think about that. So make sure you have that mechanism in, because you want to be able to catch those leads. You got to be sticky with them. You can't just let them pile up in your DMs and in your whatever, or in your email or whatever the case may be. You got to be sticky with them. You got to catch them, so keep that in mind. So obviously, and here's the other thing, another big thing, right? This is probably the biggest thing I told you at the beginning, the biggest thing for entrepreneurs is mindset. There's a certain level that comes in, and you got people that are just naturally, they're bean counters. They love numbers. They're heavily involved in them. They excel at them. Me, I was not. Okay, I've always been. I'm wicked smart in math. I can do fast math probably better than 99% of the people on the planet. However, going in and with big numbers. But the thing is, but in terms of aspect of knowing my numbers and what it was early on, I wasn't really caught up in it a whole bunch. And the reason why I wasn't is because I was just learning how to make money. I was making money. And what happened was, and some of you know my story, is I ultimately lost everything because I didn't know what was going on in my business. And that's really and truly probably the biggest thing that I know is that there's entrepreneurs out there making $1 million a year that don't know how to read a profit and loss statement. They don't know the mechanisms of their business to do it. So I want to tell you guys this because what happened was, for me, I had a CPA in-house. I actually had a CPA that I paid and sent to college and brought him in. But he still didn't give me the accurate information that I needed. I made the wrong decisions. I knew how to make the right decisions, but I didn't have a true picture of my financial picture. When 07 came, I ran into a brick wall. So one of the things that you need to know how to be, I look at cash like this. I look at cash like I'm going to war. And I look at cash flow, everything like that. I look at it like I'm going to war. So how long can I last? If it's costing me $10,000 a month and I got $100,000 and I'm not bringing in any money, I got 10 months until I lose the war, right? 10 months, I'm done. That's it. Maybe I go in the hole. Maybe I stick some people up, hold them up for, whatever I owe them. Before you know it, I'm bankrupt. I'm out. So that's why I say this is really, really, really big and critical because there's only two types of entrepreneurs, those that need money or those that are going to need money. It's just the truth because if we go in and everything's doing good, then all of a sudden we're Godzilla, we're pounding on our chest, and now we want to go buy something and we need more money for it, right? And you want to be able to get money to do deals that you're going to go ahead and you're going to get a return on it. You don't want to go borrow money and give away the farm because you didn't pay attention to your money. And for the easy thing, for some of you that don't have P&Ls, that's why I said, every Friday, just track me, and this is the action. How much cash? I like it the most simplest way. I always say dollars in, dollars out. And let me see the difference. What's the delta, plus or minus? That's it. Dollars in, dollars out on a weekly basis. That's it. That's the easiest way to do it. It just so you at least begin to have some general financial sense about your things. Then obviously you can work towards bigger pictures. And for those that you should do it, for those of you that are doing your P&Ls, you should be looking at your schedules. You should be looking at these things and making sure what's going into those numbers, making sure it's real, because anybody knows an accountant can make the numbers whatever they want them to be. So this is a really important thing. And if you want to go out there, and now keep in mind, obviously you get a good trusted people. I'm fortunate enough to where I have, like I said, I couldn't do what I've done by myself. So I have an amazing team. I have an amazing accounting department. But I want you to understand something. You're talking to somebody who I had a business I was making $2 million a year out of, okay? And I sat still for 3 years and didn't grow or expand or do nothing because I wanted to make sure that I could count the money before I moved. If I couldn't count the money, then I knew even if I got growth, I was potentially set up to be able to be ripped off the train tracks at any given time. So like some of you, when you're in these seasons of growth and you're learning, make sure that you're doing this because this is going to be a critical point to tell you how fast you can go later on down the road. And just that's the thing, build it one pillar at a time. Don't try to do everything at once. Just find what's costing you the most. Like some of you, the finance piece may be on the horizon, but the sales revenue, the leaderships, it is what it is. So just start with something small. The goal for this was to get you to think and to give you some clarity and then to give you some steps to go with it as well. Right? Hey guys, if you found value in the video today and you'd like to see more of them, like, subscribe, or share now.